You know that moment when everyone pulls out their phones to capture the sunset? The sky is bleeding orange and gold, but everyone is seeing it through a 6-inch screen, except for that one person, the one just watching it with their actual eyes. The one who says, "I'm not on social media." And suddenly, the whole room looks at them like they just confessed to living off the grid in a cave. But that person isn't a hermit in a world obsessed with showing off. They might be the only ones who are actually grounded. They don't post, they don't chase likes, and somehow they have more peace, more clarity, and more power than everyone else. In 2026, staying invisible isn't just a preference, it's a radical act. Let's be honest for a second. Why do most people post? Social media taps into the most primitive part of your brain, the need for validation. You post something, you get a like. Your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical that makes you crave sugar, winning, or even addiction. And this isn't accidental. These platforms were designed that way. Engineers studied behavioral psychology to make them as addictive as possible. But here's where it gets interesting. People who don't post, they're different. Not because they don't feel dopamine, but because they don't depend on it from other people. They don't need 200 strangers to like their vacation photo to feel like the trip was worth it. The experience itself is enough. Psychologists call this intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. But in simple terms, they validate themselves. And once you don't need other people's approval, the entire game changes. Now, here's the part most people don't want to admit. Social media isn't really about connection. It's about comparison. Every time you scroll, your brain is quietly asking, am I doing enough? Am I behind? Do I look like that? And you always lose because you're comparing your real life to someone else's edited version. And it's not just mental, it's physical. Heavy social media use actually changes your brain. Less activity in the prefrontal cortex, less focus, less control, more distraction. But people who stay off the feed, they train the opposite. They can sit with a thought. They can focus. They can be present without needing stimulation every few seconds. Now think about this. The average person spends over 2.5 hours a day on social media. That's 912 hours a year. That's 38 full days of your life. Every single year. Gone. Watching other people live instead of building your own life. But people who don't post, they get that time back. They exist without an audience. They escape something most people don't even realize they're trapped in. Continuous partial attention. One eye on the moment, one eye on the screen. Never fully anywhere. But when these people are with you, they're actually with you. Not half listening, not distracted, fully present. And society treats them like they're the weird ones. How do you stay connected? As if humans didn't build relationships for thousands of years before social media existed. They're not antisocial. They're selective. They don't give everyone access to their attention, their energy, their nervous system. They move in silence. And that silence, that's where the real work is happening. They're building, creating, becoming, while everyone else is busy posting about it. They understand something most people don't. Being unseen is power. Because the best parts of life, they're not the ones you share. They're the ones you actually live. Your attention is the most valuable thing you own. Every moment you spend scrolling is a moment you're giving away to someone else's agenda. You don't need to broadcast your life to prove it matters. You don't need an audience to be significant. So next time you feel the urge to document everything, try this. Just stay in the moment. Disappear for a while. Become someone great, because you're not missing out on life. You're actually living it. If this resonates with you, subscribe, because we don't just scroll through lives, we decode them.